feel them tingling. They're tingling now. They're tingling. It's started. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel, which is all about makeup and everything beauty. Now today's video is about how to create an all matte makeup look. And I've done this from scratch. So I show you everything, the right primer to use, the right foundation, the right products that are going to help you to achieve that all matte look. It's not just about the products though, it is about the technique. So keep watching because I throw in a little trick in there for you where you can change up your matte look later on in the evening into a glowy look, and it's really easy. So keep watching, but before we get into the video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. You can also catch me on Instagram where you can watch my stories for daily beauty news and PR unboxing. So let's jump straight into the video. So when I'm going for a full matte look, I like to make sure I start with the right primer. So I'm starting with the Shiseido Synchro Skin Soft Blurring Primer. And the reason for this is because it just sets your base. So I have nothing on, by the way, on my skin other than moisturizer. So I have my moisturizer on, I have my eye cream, and to be fair, that doesn't actually make a difference on which one you use. So that's completely mattified my skin. I'm gonna start with my eye makeup because I'm going for like a very soft, matte, brownish kind of eye. And I'm going to start with my concealer. I'm using the Clarins Everlasting Concealer. So this is a really good concealer, by the way. I've used it before. It's in 02.5 medium, and it's kind of like it's an easy to use concealer. It's not like one of those swivel top kind of felt tips, so you can just squeeze out the right amount. So I've just put a small amount on the back of my hand, and I'm just getting my beauty blender and kind of like buffing that into my lids. Now this is a full coverage concealer, and honestly it covers anything. It's amazing, but it gives a kind of matte finish, and it's sweat proof, humidity proof, it lasts through everything. It is a really good concealer. Now I'm going to set that, and I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder in Banana Bread. I always kind of go in with this powder if I want a matte look because it just mattifies everything. I'm literally just going to press that in to my lids, and I'm just dusting off the powder with my Real Techniques setting brush. So that's it, my eyelids are done. Now I can start with my eye makeup. I'm going to use the Natasha Denona bronze palette because it honestly is one of my favorite palettes for a matte bronzy look. So I'm going to use the shade Beach, and I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. And I do really like how pigmented these eyeshadows are, like especially I feel like when you're using a kind of matte eyeshadow, sometimes when it's a loose powder, it's really difficult to kind of get that pigment come through. It's almost a little bit peachy, which I love because I love peach, but I mean it doesn't necessarily look peach in the palette. Now I'm going to go in with Ridge, and I'm going to apply this right into my socket here, just a little bit in the center. I don't want to take it all the way across just because I feel like that's so well, I just feel like everyone does that. So I'm just taking it right there, and what that does is let me just be straight with you. When I say that it's been done so many times, like, you know, when people go all the way across into the socket, I just feel like it's a bit dated now, and I don't want that whole look. It's just such an obvious look. I don't want that. So, but what I do want is I want that kind of definition in my socket line. So that's why I'm only applying it here, and you can see you can still get that really nice depth there without having to kind of create this full semicircle. So I'm just taking it right in the middle. See, look at the difference now. You can already see, or hopefully you guys can see, it's given me some definition there, and it's not like full on. So we're going to do the same on the other side. I don't know why, but I randomly just had a craving for Nando's. That was so weird. I think it's because I've just got back onto my eating clean today. Basically, for the past 2 months, I've just eaten absolute rubbish because I have a new puppy. I'm so excited about him. Honestly, he brings so much joy to my life. And if you guys want to see him, let me know in the comments below and I'll bring him into a video. His name is Nico. Honestly, I love him to bits. So yeah, he's basically taken it out of me. Looking after a puppy is no joke. I'm not joking. It has taken over my life, but he's the cutest thing ever. He literally looks like a mini polar bear. He's so cute. And okay, let's move on. So you can see how I've given that kind of really nice definition in the socket line. Now I'm going to go in with a slightly darker shade and we'll go in with a darker brown. I'm going to go in with suntan now. And I'm just going to apply this, I kind of make this up as I go along. I'm going to be honest, I never plan these things. All I know is a rough idea of what I'm going to do. I don't like planning looks because I feel like once I'm in that kind of creative zone, then I kind of go with it and get the feel of it. So yeah. I don't want an overly dark look today, so I'm going to just apply it right here on the lash line. Yeah, I'm going to just press it in here. And just lift it up a little bit, you know, just to give me that like slight lift. There you go, just lifting it up just a little bit. I also don't want a full-on wing, so I just want it to be a little bit more relaxed. So just a tiny bit there. I think that is enough. So you can see the smallest amount, not even just the smallest amount of product, actually in like the smallest space can make such a difference. You don't need to go all in and try and cover up that entire crease or, you know, create a full-on wing. You can keep it pretty natural. So we've gone with that main base color on the lid, then we've gone in with a small amount into the socket just in the middle here, just a touch to kind of give that definition, to give that depth. And then we have a small amount here, which kind of like just gives you some shape. So you've got your main base, you've got depth, and then you've got shape. So this kind of just elongates the eye a little bit. So I think that is more or less enough there. I really don't want to take it out any further because I feel like it's going to end up being maybe a little bit too, well, just full on. I just realized I didn't actually tell you what brushes I was using, so let me just very quickly tell you right now. The first brush I used for my base was the Fenty Beauty 230 blending brush, and then I used the Zoeva 231 Luxe Petite Crease brush when I went into that area here for that depth. And then to apply that darker shade just along here for slight shape, I used the Sephora 1.8 brush. Now I'm using the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette, and the shade I'm using is Guava. I said it that way because I wasn't sure if I said it right. Guava. I'm using Guava. And the brush that I'm using is the Zoeva 230 Luxe Pencil. So what I'm going to do is, this is like, it's very similar to that beach shade from the bronze palette, but what I'm doing is just kind of like taking it over, just over my whole lash line into where I actually put that darker shade. And it's almost like a slightly peachy color as well. It's going to just kind of diffuse that darker shade a little bit, and I just feel like it just helps to kind of blend everything together. So that is done, and next what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to just apply a very, very small amount of eyeliner. So let me show you that now. I'm using the NYX Epic Ink eyeliner, and literally I'm not applying this all over. So if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that when I don't like to have like a full-on eyeliner look, I like to apply a very small amount on the inner corners here so that when I apply my lashes, there's no gap there and it just looks completely seamless. So I'm just going to apply this very close to my lash line. That's it, literally that's it, just a quarter of the way. You can already see the difference, like look how that you can just tell that this is more defined. Okay. So that is done. Now I'm going to apply my lashes. But before that, I'm going to apply mascara. So I'm going to apply, which mascara shall I use? Okay, so I'm going to apply my mascara first. I'm using the NARS Climax mascara. I'm using the NARS Climax mascara, and this is a really good mascara. It just, look, already. Actually, I'm gonna put my lashes on after I've done my base, because sometimes what happens is when I've done my eye makeup and I put my lashes on and then I do my base, all the powder kind of goes onto my lashes, and then I hate that look, you know, where you've got like powder sitting on top of your lashes. It's awful. So I'm gonna put my lashes on last. So I've got my Clarins Everlasting Concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna use my Kevyn Aucoin Duet Concealer brush, and I'm just gonna apply this. Well, let me start from here. Now we're going for a full matte look, so this concealer is really good for that. I'm just going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood complexion brush, the larger side of the brush, and I'm just going to buff everywhere in other than the under eye. Just going to get my sponge and just buff this under here. I want to keep that shape, but I want it to just look blended. See how good that coverage is? It's amazing. This concealer is so good. It is really good. I feel like it's kind of, I feel like Clarins do really good makeup. Like, the reason I sound so surprised is because Clarins to me is more for body. It always has been. It's more to do with skincare. I haven't really gone to Clarins for makeup, but recently they have really upped their game, because they've got this new Everlasting foundation as well, which I'm not using today, but I will use on another video to show you, because it is pretty good. The concealer is really good. So I feel like you really need to check them out, because I don't know if you're like me where you just haven't really looked at Clarins for makeup, but I always felt that their makeup was more kind of for people who didn't need that much makeup. You know, like really natural. And as a makeup artist, I would say this is a really good product. Next, I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty matchsticks in Cocoa, and we're just going to draw in some lines all over to just sculpt the face. And this is a really nice shade for my skin color. I'm going to get my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood complexion brush and start buffing this in. I'm going to keep the shape the same, and I just want the edges of what I've kind of, those lines I've created, to just look blended like that. So let's do this side. So all I've done is just flip the brush to use the smaller side, and I'm just kind of like dragging it out to the sides of the bridge of the nose, taking it into the brow. There you go. So that is done, and I think, what is that? That's actually, oh, that's actually a mole. I'm gonna do my base now. So now I'm gonna use the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. My shade is Golden Natural. Okay, I'm just gonna start buffing this in. I'm only using a very small amount, by the way, because this foundation goes a long way. A small amount goes a long way. So I'm just gonna start buffing this in. Now that the foundation's done, we're going to go in with my powder puff and my setting powder, which is the same as earlier. So it's the Huda Beauty Easy Bake, and we're just going to press that in. This is where you get it all over your top. So just don't wear anything that you're worried about getting makeup on. Okay, and then we're just going to press it everywhere else because we want a matte finish. So this is how you get a matte finish. Now you can just kind of go in everywhere. I like to kind of just go in creating the same shapes that I kind of created with the contour, and then fill in the gaps. Now I especially make sure that I kind of really press into the areas that I might get oily later on. Like I might get oily or just get oily. Okay, so now that that's on, I don't like to let it bake for ages. I like to kind of just dust it all off because I feel like then it doesn't feel so dry and look so dry. So I'm just going in with my Makeup Forever 122 brush, dusting it off everywhere other than my under eyes. Honestly guys, this method, it will have your makeup staying on all day. Now I go in with my Real Technique setting brush and dust off the powder. Okay, so now let's go on to brows, because I feel like I just need to get them sorted, because I can't take myself seriously when my brows look like this and I've got like a full face of like my base is done. So I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Bomb Brows in light brown, and I've got a bit of foundation on my brows, so that's like, they look a bit, they're just covered up a little bit. So I'm going to go in with this and just start drawing in some hair strokes, and then go in with a slightly darker shade to fill in the sparse areas. So one brow is done, I'm going to go over and do the other one. I'm going to go in with a slightly darker shade now. I'm using the Fenty MVP, it's Brow MVP, it's not MVP, it's Brow MVP. Why can't I say that? Brow MVP. And this color is the shade, what shade is this? It is medium brown. So it's a nice color, I like it. It's not like grayish. So all I'm doing is just literally filling in the areas where I feel like I just need a bit more depth there, because I've got quite sparse brows. Okay, so brows are done. I'm going to put my lashes on now. I'm using my own brand lashes in Nina, as you guys know. Out of all of the 18 styles that we have in both our collections, these are my favorite lashes. Like, these are the ones that I made for me, and I get a lot of compliments on them because they just don't look like they have a lash line at all. They just look like they're semi-permanent lashes. So I've just applied a little bit of glue, and I'm just gonna apply this now because I think it should be kind of dry, or like semi-dry, not fully dry. Okay, so I am just gonna apply this, put this on here. Place the middle section down first so I can get the position right. Okay, let me check. Stick down the outer corners and then stick down the inner corners. Okay, so I'm gonna let my lashes kind of set. I usually go back and just make sure that they've stuck down properly, and then finish the rest of my eye. So now I'm gonna prep my lip. I'm using something I haven't used in a very long time. This is the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme. I haven't used the Extreme before. I remember back in the day, I used the normal lip injection, and that was like, I remember it used to make my lips burn. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but rather than kind of contour my lips and make them look a little bit bigger, I'm just gonna go in with this. Let's just see how they work. So you guys can actually see this too. So you know what they look like now. They're pretty flat. Now let's apply this. There's nothing on my lips. Even though this is like a gloss, I'm wiping it off. I only want it for the effect. I don't want it for the look. So I'm gonna apply this all over. And then also, I like to take it just a little bit above the lip line. I'm going to go into the under eye area using the Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette, and I'm going to use that first shade that we used, Guava, and I'm literally just going to, I can feel them tingling. They're tingling now. They're tingling. It started. So let's see how this, let's just hope it doesn't get any worse than this, because I just feel like I've rubbed my lips in chilies right now. Okay, so I'm gonna just buff this into my lower lash line, just for a soft, sorry, I just scraped my knuckle, just for a soft finish. I'm using that same brush, I'm using the Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil brush. Okay, I like that. I don't want there to be too much kind of darkness on my under eye area. So now I'm gonna go in with my mascara. Okay, they're burning out. And they've gone so red, can you see? Has it actually made them bigger? I don't know. You guys can be the judge of that. So let me know in the comments below if you think that the Too Faced lip injection really does work, because you've just witnessed it yourself. So, okay, I'm just gonna go in with my mascara. I'm using the NARS Climax mascara on my lower lash line, on my lower lashes I mean. do you know what? When I decided to do this video, I was having a look at what's currently on YouTube in terms of like full matte look. And I feel like there was so many matte look tutorials out there which were full on eye makeup, like a lot more going on than what I've done. And I just wanted to show you guys something which was a bit more wearable, because just because you want matte makeup, I don't think it means that you have to have so much color on the eyes. You know, sometimes you want it for the daytime, and you can wear this in the evening as well. By the way, if you do want to change this up for the evening, you can very easily change it up if you want to kind of transfer over to more of a glowy finish. Then you can take like a really nice kind of warmish highlighter and use that one highlighter all over to just change up this look completely. So for example, I would take some of that highlighter, put it on my little finger, put it right in the middle there. That will turn this eye look into a spotlight eye. And then just put a little bit on the tops of the cheeks, tip of the nose, and you are done. And maybe add a little bit of gloss. That will change your look completely, and it's super quick. It's a super quick transition. Okay, so now that the eye makeup is done, I'm kind of happy with that. It's nice and matte. I'm gonna go in with my bronzer. I'm using the Fenty Beauty bronzer in Shady Biz, and I'm just gonna apply this to my cheekbones. And I'm using the Hourglass dual-ended ambient lighting brush. And I'm just starting from kind of like between the top and the middle of the ear, and just buffing this bronzer in to kind of create that really nice chiseled look. And same on the other side. I'm just taking it into the temples, just the sides of the face. This is kind of where I put the darker concealer as well when I was contouring. So now I'm just kind of sculpting my face so that I've got some dimension and it doesn't look so flat. I'm going to use the same bronzer, but I'm moving over to my Fenty 200 brush and just gonna sculpt my nose with the same bronzer. So just like a V shape there, because that helps to slim down the tip of my nose. And now I'm just sculpting the sides of the bridge of the nose. And just a little bit on the nostrils. Okay, do we think the lip injection has worked? What do you think? I think it has. I think it has a little bit, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off this gloss now. I mean, they're pretty rosy red. I'm gonna put no lipstick on, and now there's a lot more more of that fleshy color, which is pretty good. That is a really good lip for a very natural kind of glow. Like, you don't actually have to put any color on. Yeah, it's definitely made them bigger. More than plumper, I feel like it's kind of enhanced my lip line. So there you go. Now, because they're already hydrated, I don't really need to put any lip balm or anything on. I'm going to use the Guerlain Kiss Kiss liquid lipstick in L300. It's a really nice kind of nudish shade. Okay, I'm just going to blend this in. Sometimes I like to put my lip liner on last, and I'll show you today. Now I'm going to go in with my lip pencil. I'm using the MAC lip pencil in Subculture. This is a really nice kind of nudish shade. Now I just line my lips as normal after I put my lipstick on, because I want that very slightly blurred look. I don't want it to look so perfectly lined. And that's when I usually put my lip liner on, after I've put my lipstick on. So I'm going to finish off with a little bit of colour on my lips. I'm using the NARS Air Matte Lip Colour, and this shade is Joyride, and it's kind of like a peachy shade. I only want a little bit, not a lot. Just in the centre. So that is a really good liquid lipstick, by the way, if you want that really nice powdery matte finish. And I don't like to use this alone because I feel like I need something underneath for a little bit of hydration. So that's why I use the lip injection. And then obviously I've got that other nudish liquid lipstick, which is kind of matte finish as well, but I wanted to finish it off with just a little bit of peach, but I don't want the peach all over, if you see what I mean. So yeah, that is my finished full matte look. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and If you do have any questions about any of the products I used or my technique, then just drop me a comment below and I will always reply. Also, don't forget that all the products that I use in this are listed in my description box below, so all you need to do is click on the link if you want to go get yourself one. Now, as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so that you never miss a video. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.